Good morning, friends. Here I am in Sanjeev ji's office. So looks like this pandemic is just keep going on and on and on. It seems like this one came with no deadline.
No deadline. His
No
deadline.
deadline.
One thing which has no deadline.
It just keeps getting extended and extended, extended. So what does that mean for us? So we have a lot of confusion going on in market right now. There is some talk about some new PPP program coming up. There were talks about some changes to the forgiveness program. There were talks about a new stimulus package coming up.
Right.
So just kind of give us a quick update as to what is happening in the market as we speak.
Yes, so as everyone knows, everybody of all business owners are waiting for the PPP second installment. The PPP second installment is aimed at providing those businesses which are really hit by pandemic, like for example restaurants, travel industry, hotels, hotel owners. So basically, they are looking at giving the second installment of PPP loan for those businesses based upon the sales. Can be 30% drop in the revenue as compared for this quarter, any one quarter, or let's say first quarter, second quarter, as compared to prior year same quarters. So if there's a drop in revenue, they are saying 50% in drop in revenue in that quarter or 35%. So we are going to wait on that. But second installment definitely is coming in. So we're waiting for that second installment for the stimulus to happen. That's number one. Number two, as everyone knows, President Trump has given the executive orders, signed an executive orders on last Sunday, August 10th. Now those executive orders are mostly, there are three memorandums basically, and one really executive order. The three memorandums are based upon directing their government departments to look into it. For example, unemployment assistance. They're directing the state government to provide that $100 budget for each person unemployed. In addition, if they request the federal government for unemployment assistance and give that $100 assistance to the unemployed, then federal will give additional $300. So as we know that earlier it was $600 per week coming from the federal, not from the state. State were giving their own funding, like depending upon their wage levels, 40 to 45% of wage levels. So if you're in California, state was giving $40 to $450 per week. On top of it, you are getting federal employment $600 per week. Now, with this executive order, it's a memorandum, basically not executive order. It's like directing the state government to request for federal extension unemployment, and they have to provide that $100. Then federal government will provide that $300. So now, if the state does not have money, which we know California does not have, other states don't have, it will be very difficult to provide to direct the state to give the $100. So there is a lot of uncertainty in that area. Maybe we'll find more clarity. More the federal will say, okay, don't worry about state. I will give $400 per week. So we're waiting for that. As things are not clear on that federal employment assistance extension coming from the executive order. Number two, it happened with the memorandum again. Second memorandum was on payroll tax cut, and again it was directive given to the Treasury Department to provide ways for not withholding the employee portion of payroll taxes. So Social Security and Medicare tax from September 1 to December 31st for any employee making less than 104,000 a year. So if you're one of those employee who's making less than 104,000 a year this year, your Social Security your portion of Social Security, which is 6.2%, and Medicare tax, which is 1.45%, they are saying that you can defer that, not cancellation. They are not looking at cancellation. You can defer that and pay next year. So they have directed the Treasury Department to look into that area and provide for forgiveness if possible. And that forgiveness will happen only if the President Trump is elected. That's what he says in the order. If I'm elected after November 3rd ballot, then definitely I will ask for forgiveness. I will look into forgiveness. So we don't know how this will play into. It will be difficult for the employer to withhold those taxes and then pay those taxes. It will be difficult for employees not to withhold taxes. So it's again very confusion on that one. The third one, that executive order, again a memorandum, was directing the Department of Education for looking into student loan deferment, interest deferment, only for federal loans, not for private loans. So if you are Or if you're if you have a kid who have a student loan, going to college, have a student loan from the federal grant, and they can defer that payment up to December. But again, they are directing Department of Education. There's nothing certainty on that account as well. The fourth one was eviction. Eviction again is a direction to a department of the concerned department to look into avoiding the evictions. The ways to whether they cannot have a tenant evict their premises based upon the COVID-19 scenario urgency. So again, it's a direction. So all these orders, all this memorandum and executive order have nothing bearing, and so far people were looking for more direction, more better clarity regarding federal employment extension, clarity on that one. Payroll tax cut, again, it was a favorite topic of President Trump, but doesn't make sense for a lot of people. It was never making sense. One thing about payroll tax cut we have to understand here is employer portion of payroll taxes is already deferred. You can make the payment 2 installments, which is already there in the CARES Act. And federal student loan interest payment, again, is for federal payment, federal loans, not for private. So more students have taken private loans, so there's no deferment for those areas. Evictions, tenants are already working with the landlords. So basically, in summary, these four memorandums, basically is nothing but well sort of all the details we need. It's just it looks more like a cosmic changes rather than real changes. So we are going to wait for those things. Hopefully the Congress will work. This Republicans and Democrats will come together and try to sort out the stimulus package, and people are looking for it. The business owners are looking for second installment PPP loans. So unless those things come up, those clarity comes up, we don't know it at this point. But definitely, whenever it comes to us, we'll let all the people know about it, and then we take it from there.
Now, Sanjay, is there any changes to the forgiveness program? Last time you mentioned there were some changes coming.
Well, PPP forgiveness, as everyone knows, their new question answer FAQs have been given by the SBA administration, the US Department of Treasury, relating to forgiveness. They have big, like about 50 questions. They have clarified on payroll cost, non-payroll cost, the covered period, alternative covered period. What they have, in a nutshell, forgiveness is easy to get, provided you follow 3 basic steps. Number one, you should use that fund in the way they want, 60% payroll, 40% for non-payroll cost. You should maintain the employees during that covered period, whether it's 8 weeks or 24 weeks. You should maintain the number of employees, unless you have reasons not maintaining those number of employees. For example, the employee might have gone to get another job, or you might have fired for reasonable cause, or you might have hired new people. So you can hire the people till December 31st. So maintaining those employees is an important area. So first is using that fund, the period, using that fund in a proper period, and maintaining the employees also is an important consideration. So if forgiveness up to 150,000, which I was thinking they're going to come back and give more clarity whether it's automatic forgiveness, but they've given 2 forms, which we know is a simple form and a long form. So we have to look into. So if you are is a sole proprietor with no employees, very short amount, like 20,000, use the simple form, 3805 easy. If you have employees, definitely you have to go to the longer form. But again, depends upon basic conditions, like whether you're maintaining using the fund the way they want, keeping the number of employees the same way. So if you have all those things, you can use the long form, but it's very simple form. We are waiting for automatic forgiveness. We have not heard about it. They were saying earlier that they're going to give it automatic forgiveness up to $150,000 loan. We have not heard any words on that. We're waiting for it. You can apply for forgiveness anytime, 10 months from date of ending of the covered period. So there's no hurry on applying for forgiveness. A lot of clients are calling me and saying, can we apply? Can we forcing us to apply for forgiveness? For forgiveness, just have patience. You will get forgiveness. It's not going to be very difficult. They're making sure that things are worked out. Just hold on for another 3 months, 6 months. Maybe you get a second installment of PPP loans, and maybe the forgiveness will be bundled up in both the loans, both the stages. So just wait for the forgiveness. It's not going to be tough. It's going to be easy. Basic requirement is usage of fund, maintaining the number of employees, and then having proper documentation. That's the most area to be focused on.
So there you go, friends. We got the update so far, but once again, things are dynamic. Elections are coming, so obviously, as always, there's a lot of things that are moving target, I guess. So we'll talk to Sanjeev ji next week. Hopefully, he will have some more updates for us. But till then, thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any question, definitely reach out to us. Now, Sanjeev ji, you do have a webinar coming up, right?
So that webinar is on August 22nd. I invite all the people who are listening to us to join us. It's a monthly, it's a 6 month. I will say more than 6 months. Is a time where people want to do some planning. We have a lot of changes in the Act. We have a Secure Act that came in December. Then we have CARES Act that came in March. Then we have a second installment of CARES Act which will come soon. So a lot of things are changed in the area for individual tax planners and also business tax planning relating to retirement accounts, relating to for individuals it's more into planning side for capital gains and mortgage interest reduction and real estate changes. For business owners, it's a whole different QBI deductions is there. Then we have the retirement account changes. Then we have this CARES Act, PPP loan, all these changes. So definitely it will be a handful of information for both of them, individual as well as business owners. Is a time to look into their books, time to plan for the December 31st, 2020, with the stock market always going up and up. Today it costs 28,000, 27,900 something. And the real estate is still there, it's holding up. So it's time to go for it, go for planning. And definitely this is webinar will bring all those tips and all the tricks in the books to lower your income level legally for 2020.
There you go, friends. And thank you, Sanjeev ji, for your time. And we'll look forward to speaking with you next week.
Thank you.